how do we begin? Analyzing song intros, and today we are going to be looking at Volume 1 by Mundoworld. Hey, that's me! Yeah, I got the idea last week when we were going over Syro by Aphex Twin. Let's take a look, just briefly recap. Drum and bass, I saw all that purple. We hadn't seen all that purple yet, and it reminded me. You know, I feel like it was really resonating with me at the time, and I felt like I don't know, when I'm making songs, I want to have it come out with that bass, some drums, come in heavy or don't come at all, you know? So anyway, let's take a look. We're now entering here. Let's run it back to the beginning. We can take a look through these. Now this one, it's the first song on the album. It's the first Mundoworld song ever. It's going to be atmospheric to start out, isn't it?
We're going on to see and hear some completely different things.
And then voice, and then bass. That's right. That is the Mundoworld formula. Not really, but you know, that's where it all started. Moving on now to Data State. Bang. Here it is. Clean and groovy. Drums with bass. Now the bass, here's the thing. We were kind of struggling with this on the Syro too. The bass kind of becomes the melody. Or the melody becomes the bass. It's kind of both. Multifaceted, multi-layered, multi-role. We could say that. We could say bass sorta is the melody. But then not really. At first, but then we got that little guitar sound thing coming in there. That's the melody, at least for the first part. Anyway, moving on. Oh wow, people are gonna hold me to pronouncing the song on my own goddamn channel. Dream again. All right, we have arpeggios here. I don't really have a category for those. Atmospherics for sure. Yeah, I'm a little torn. It's got to be chords, but let's say rather than chords, let's say it's kind of an ostinato. That almost, it feels a little ridiculous to put that in its own category, but single arp. Single repeating arp. Yeah, it's just, it is, I didn't expect, you know, I thought these were just going to be every possible piece of music ever created. Drum, bass, chord, melody, atmospheric voice, but we kind of have been hitting these snags where it's like, I don't know, let me know. Am I just missing something? Like, where would you put this? It's definitely not melody. It doesn't really become part of the chord progression later, so that's when I don't like to put it in chords. We could just say that it's atmospheric. So we kind of say that an ostinato is building atmosphere, building tension. That's what it does, but that's not really the, this is more ambiance. This is more like, those twinkles in the background setting the mood. I don't know. Let's move on though. Let's not get too hung up on it. This is Nezuon, right? Those are chords. At least for our purposes. Porpoises are here. Yeah, all chords. Might have drums come in next, something like that, but a couple cycles through. And just a higher note. Okay. Next song, another Imperfect Condition. A lot going on in this one. Bass and drums, no doubt. Let's get context. The melody doesn't really come until later. I think we have to say that these are functioning as chords. They're laying down the foundation. So while they're not necessarily a chord progression, they are laying the basis for which the rest of the song is built. That's more the role of chords. They're playing the role of chords. They're definitely not melody. They're not going over the top of foundation. They are the foundation. So in a way, you know, if it just said foundation, that could include chord and bass. But in this case, I think that's fair. Now, the next one, All of Tomorrow's Hindsight. Drums, yeah. That's the bass. Is this the melody in this case? Yeah. I'm gonna say that's the melody. And then bass shortly after. It's possible that I'm gonna sneeze in this video. We've done, maybe not. Bass next, but yeah, drums and melody. Interesting. That's a rare one, actually. Trying to think back, where have we seen Blue? Blue by itself. That one was controversial. Here we go. We'd have to go all the way back to Schottky. Do 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 do. That's definitely more of drum and melody than this one. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe not. Maybe they are kind of similar. But see, now we're starting to draw. We can actually draw some comparisons between. This is the fun part of this for sure. Anyway, Eel Jaw Lodge. Ooh, messed it up. Here we go. Okay, this is a little bit tough too. I'm gonna actually count this as chords because the melody is actually later. Do 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 do. I'm gonna say that is. Let's say it's operating more as arpeggiated chords than melody because it is foundation to what comes later. The atmosphere is light. Right when I click play, you can hear it. 1, 2, 3. Just yeah, they're like little frogs in the background, little eel jaws just whistling around. Another one right at the 10-second mark there. It's subtle. I wrote that atmosphere is subtle, but it's back there. It's not just the bass and the chords by themselves. A little bit of environment for them to live in as well. All right, last one, Behind the Opaque Face. Let's hear it. Pretty ambient-ish song. Kind of have a march coming in. I'd say if anything, are these operating as the chords? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say they're operating as the chords. They're not strictly ambience. There's a couple of, I would say, like those higher notes there, those were by themselves. That might be atmospheric because they're less pitch oriented. But I think what we heard before is now operating as the foundational, you know, again, not really a progression, but it's the role of the chords. It's a role. So let's pause it there. Let's just take a look at this quickly. In review, I like how we have kind of like a downward stair spiral here. The drums kind of made way for the bass, which then made way for the chords. Atmospherics, we started atmospheric and actually got a little bit less over time, although you could make the argument that there deserves to be a yellow button press there. No voice, which is surprising, but it's only because it takes a little bit you know what? It's like, do I put that there? It's almost like the We Are the Music Makers one. It just takes a little longer to get there, where it's just like, we're now going on to here and seeing here some completely different things. Like that is that song. That's what you think of to open the album. I'm gonna put it there. Let's go back, see if this is justified. If it's like 13, okay. If it's like 20, maybe not. Have all the build up, atmosphere. When do we hear it?
We're going on to see and hear some completely different things.
That was like 11.9. We're keeping that in there. So yeah, then the bass comes in, hits hard, good stuff. Anyway, so taking a look. I don't know. I like how this feels very like organized in a way. They're like blocks of them. Not that that makes any difference. It just kind of made a cool picture. So I like how this one has like an upstairs here. That's just as fun. But let's compare this. So we have really the most purple we've seen since Sarah. Sarah looks like it has 5. We only actually had 3 on this one. John Hopkins. Not that similar really there. Going back through this Forte one still stands alone in a way. It's also a long album, so it looks a little bit different picture wise. Also a long album here. I don't want to convert it to a table. Thank you though. Very nice thought. Let's look at these two. More chords than this Aphex Twin. Mildly similar otherwise, but also I would say not as thick on the drums. So anyway, interesting. Doing the comparisons, doing the things. Yeah, I have maybe one more Mundoworld. I mean, it'd be fun to do all of them, but I wanna see what else is out there here. Really, there might be one more we do just for context, but we might save that for later on. Anyway, thanks for joining me this time around, and hope to see you again soon.